Good afternoon. You know, some things are beyond science. One thing I know for sure, when the school year winds down, it's a freight train you cannot stop. I'll explain in a minute. Welcome. Today is Thursday, May 8th, and you are watching me do the puzzles. We're going to start with connections, and then we'll do the mini crossword, and then we'll play the Wordle, the Strands puzzle, and then letterboxed. Let's do it. Okay, let's dive in. So, what I know is that there's an epidemic going on right now, and you may be part of it. You may be witnessing it. You may have no idea it's happening. We used to worry, after COVID, we used to worry about kids just being really apathetic. And now the apathy has gone so far beyond apathy that it's just like absence. Now, I don't mean absence as in like, oh, tardy from school, didn't show up, unexcused absence. I mean like brain off, not even physically present, not mentally or spiritually present, just empty shells. And I really do love the kids I teach. The ones that I teach but have never shown up is a totally different experience. I have some kids that I have never, ever seen on my roll. I've never placed them on my seating chart, and I don't know who they are. I've never met them in person, and I have never, ever met these kids. Sometimes I'll meet the kid once, the first day of school, and then they never show up. Or usually if I do meet the kid, I've never seen him, and then right about this time of the school year, I finally get to meet the kid, and they're like, is there any way that I could at least pass? Because then they finally realize after months and months, oh, wait, I need your class to graduate. It's something else. It's remarkable. It's scary is what it is. These kids, during, the pandemic and such, these kids were, I guess they were 7th graders. Man, is that really that long ago? They were 7th graders, these kids graduating right now. And just the absolute absence lately is just, it's stifling. It's really stifling. And the brazen attitude behind it too is another thing. I don't know. It's something that's been on my mind for a long time. Could be our grading system here specifically my school district. It could be a multitude of things, but it definitely hampers it. So I don't know. Let's do the puzzles. You know what doesn't hamper things is doing the connections puzzle. So let's dive in. I see pen, cup, joy, wick, chop, candle. Oh, candle and wick. Interesting. Ocean, dice, yard, pencil, author, bond, compose, Jones, scorecard, and write. Okay, so I saw write, author, compose, and to pen something. Pen as the verb. To commit to paper. To pen, to author, to compose, to write. Awesome. Okay. Dice could mean like the way something is cut. Oh, hey. MK Proust. What's up? To dice, to chop, to cup, yard, joy. Those two feel like they go together, but I don't know if they do. Bond. To bond is to glue things together. You could get a bail bond. James Bond, James Wick, James Jones. Am I onto something there, or am I making that up? Johnny Ocean. I'm gonna bookmark that one in my head. I don't want to waste a guess. I could be right. I don't know, but I could also be dead wrong. cup, scorecard, yard, and pencil are kind of golf terms. Am I totally off on that? Right? Yardage, golf pencil. The cup is the hole you're aiming for. We could guess it. I don't want to waste guesses, though. There should be another one that's just very obvious, but I'm not seeing it, whatever it is. Right? The green category, whatever that is. Candle. I see candle like candle wick. Dice wax. Chop wax. Surfboard wax. Candle wax. Roll the dice. Let me shuffle. It'll make more sense if I see kind of with new eyes, you know? Okay, let's think about this. Scorecard, yard. They rhyme. I don't think that's what they're going for, though. Okay, so a wick is like a candle has a middle thing. A pencil has a middle thing. Right? Pencil lead. That's all I saw, though. John Wick, Davy Jones. Any ideas? Hey, Skittles. I am having a hard time putting this one together. To dice and to chop, right? Those make sense together, but I feel like they might be in different categories because I only see two of them. Like roll of the dice, roll of the ocean, roll a pencil. No, thank you. Do you think the golf thing was right? Am I making that up? The cup, yardage, scorecard, and pencil. Maybe we do just guess it. Maybe we're on to something. No, but it is one away. Oh my gosh. Oh, shoot. Scorecard. It's one away. Whatever it is, it's one away. Okay, I was kind of feeling like these ones went together too. Like John Wick, James Bond, Davy Jones, Danny Ocean. I don't know. Maybe I'm... Oh, no way! No way! Oh my gosh. Okay, look at that. Wow, that was sketchy. That was sketchy at best. Heroes of action movie franchises. James Bond, Indiana Jones, Ocean. Right? Ocean's 11. Wasn't Danny Ocean? I feel like it was Danny Ocean. And then John Wick. Wow. Okay. Maybe, what's the... Like, to play Yahtzee, right? You need a cup, pencil, dice, card. Maybe it's not golf. Maybe it's Yahtzee. Yes! Oh my gosh, I was... I was like, what else could it be? Okay, so candle... Oh, wait a minute. Candlestick, yardstick. Oh, joystick. That doesn't... Oh, joystick! Yeah, wait a minute. Joystick is a thing. Chopstick? Oh, of course, chopstick, like Chinese food chopstick. That's the one. Okay, chopstick. I'm like, wait, chopstick? I don't get it. You just read into it. Okay, to commit to paper is to author, to compose, to pen, or to write. Heroes of action movie franchises, that was a total stab. James Bond, Indiana Jones, I think it's Danny Ocean, isn't it? John Wick. Needs for playing Yahtzee. I thought it was needs for playing golf, right? The cup, you hit and it goes into the cup. You put it into the cup. No, it's Yahtzee. You need the cup to roll the die. The dice. Isn't it like 5 dice? I think it's 5 dice. Pencil and a scorecard. And then once we had the 4, it's like, okay, how are these related? Then it started making sense. I said candlestick, chopstick, joystick, right? Activate a joystick, and a yardstick. Very clever. Very clever. All right, next let's play the mini. Adjective that rhymes with sheesh or pitch, depending on who you ask. Those are 2 very different pronunciations. I don't know. It could be any adjective. We'll come back to it. Colossal blank, marine animal filmed in its natural habitat for the first time in 2025. I do believe that is a squid, if I can spell it right. Like some caterpillars, maybe furry or fuzzy. Maybe fuzzy. That's dangerous to have two Z's like that. I wonder if it's furry. Some spouses, maybe wives. Bill's time-traveling partner of film. You ever seen that movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Letters meaning don't click this in public. Oh, funny. NSFW, not safe for work. That's just kind of in general, not a good thing in public. Don't show, don't do what you're about to do in public. That's funny. You can take this job and shove it. I quit. Funny. Feature of a winding road. All right, I think this is not fuzzy. I really think it is furry, because the feature of a winding road might be curve. I think we're on to something there. Added to the payroll, maybe hired, which makes 7 across furry. I think we're on to something there. And then Dryer's ice cream on the East Coast. Oh, I actually know that. This is Edie's ice cream. Oh, it didn't play the... There it goes. I was like, it didn't play the full song. What the heck? I earned it. Okay, look at this. Adjective that rhymes with sheesh or pitch, depending on who you ask. Oh, totally. Oh, I agree with that. Niche rhymes with sheesh, or niche. If you ask somebody else, maybe they say niche. I say niche because I'm not crazy. Do you say niche or niche? Oh, let's see. Giddy asks, how often do I stream? I've got to go to sleep, work in the morning. Love the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I stream actually once a day, right about this time or a little bit earlier. If I can get out of work a little bit earlier, I tend to do it about an hour and a half earlier than I usually than I am doing it right now. Because some of you guys know I teach at a school. And, when the bell rings, I go home if I'm done, grading and whatnot, and I will jump on and do a live stream. I do this once a day. You can see my puzzles down there below. I do the connections, the mini crossword, the Wordle, the Strands, and the letterboxed in that order. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, back to it. I say niche, right? Pick a niche in YouTube. That's one thing that I feel like maybe I'm struggling at in YouTube, because I'm a little bit of everything. I do everything, a lot of different things. I perform music, that goes on my YouTube channel. I do these goofy live streams once a day, that goes on my channel, right? So you have this like spread of lots of different like art forms all in the same channel. And I have heard that is not great for you in like a growth sense. People are going to look at your channel and go, what? You're all over the place. I'm not going to subscribe to you. So it is better to pick a niche and I have heard it as niche, but I think that sounds uneducated, so I say niche. Niche sounds proper and sophisticated, doesn't it? All right, colossal squid, the marine animal filmed in its natural habitat for the first time in 2025. That's really cool. Like some caterpillars, they might be furry. I said fuzzy, but furry. Yeah, furry's a controversial word nowadays, isn't it? We're going to move on before that discussion goes any deeper. Some spouses, wives, there are husbands and there are wives. I hope you've ever watched the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Remember we were talking about John Wick in the Connections puzzle? One of Keanu Reeves' first forays into film was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And if you haven't watched it, it's so great. It's so fun. Yeah, Giddy, thanks for joining on. You're awesome. Letters meaning don't click this in public. NSFW, not safe for work. That's funny. You can take this job and shove it. I quit. Hey, Bodhi, how you doing? Bodhi Bo is here. You can take this job and shove it. I quit. Feature of a winding road, a curve. Added to the payroll, hired. And then Dreyer's Ice Cream. If you live on the West Coast or close to the West Coast, you will see it as Dreyer's Ice Cream. And on the East Coast, you will see it as Edie's Ice Cream. Same exact stuff. It's like when you visit one place, you'll see a Hardee's, and then on the West Coast, you'll see Carl's Jr. You're like, well, what is it? Carl's Jr. or Hardee's? It's the same thing, same brand. Or Best Foods or Hellman's mayonnaise. Best Foods on the East Coast or Hellman's. Actually, I switched those. Hellman's in one and then Best Foods on the other. It's funny. Yeah, it's brands, we buy different brands, and it's brand recognition and lots of different things going on. Okay, next let's play the Wordle. We have a streak going on, I'll tell you this. We do have a streak. I have a 100% win rate. But today I was having lunch, and some people were doing the Wordle during lunch, and they know that if I'm nearby, they don't say a word, right? Even if it was a tough puzzle or something, and they just won't say a word. Don't even give me a hint, a letter. I don't care. Don't even say it. I wait until this moment. I have not seen it. I don't know a single letter. It's probably vowels. It's probably consonants. That's all I know. In fact, during the Wordle, I will not be looking at the chat. If you guys scream answers at me, that's fine. I just won't be looking at it during the Wordle. So that's totally fine. So today, specifically during the Wordle, one of my friends at work was doing the Wordle during our lunch break, and she went, "Oh, I just lost my streak." So whatever the word is, I wonder if it's tough, if it's a tricky one. I don't know. Okay. So some of you guys know my strategy. If you're just barely seeing my stream for the first time, first off, welcome. If you like what you see, give it a like and consider subscribing. I do this once a day, every single day. Just right after I get home from work, I do the Wordle. I do the, you can see the puzzles right there. So consider subscribing so you can catch all the latest every day. So my strategy for the Wordle, maybe it's a little different than people usually do, because once you get a letter, you want to guess it again. That's not what I do. My strategy, and I've never learned this from anybody else. This is just the way I've always done it. I will come up with 3 separate words that don't use any of the same letters. It's as if I'm taking one guess at 15 letters rather than taking 3 individual guesses and then overlapping letters, right? Because then it's less efficient. So the first thing I do is I just come up with a word, whatever word. Like, I don't know. Oh, people hate this word. I'm going to put this word. Okay, so now my next guess isn't going to have any of those letters. Even though I know that there's an M somewhere, I'm not going to guess an M until much later. This is my strategy. I know I'm crazy. How about plead? That doesn't use any of those letters. Okay, there's an L, there's an A. And then, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to come up with one more non-intersecting word. And if I can make it use the vowels, even better. Oh my gosh, here's one. Wrung. Wrung out. No help at all. Okay, so I do those 3 non-intersecting words. The next step is to come up with words. I've got 15 that either are on it or not on it, and then 11 left that I can guess from, and it's a whole lot easier guessing from 11 than guessing from 26, right? Okay, so I know it does not start with an M. It could start with an L. It could start with L-A. Lammy? Is that a word? Lammy? I don't know. I feel like that's throwing a guess away. Could be... Oh, no, it can't be consonant L at the beginning. It could be... Oh, that's a word. Balmy. A could go there. L could go there. I mean, at least it would tell us, the order of a couple of these letters. Let's try it. No freaking way. My coworker said, no, I didn't get it. I got it on the 4th. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, thank you, Bodhi. You're awesome. You are awesome. I like the way you chat in the comments, so thank you. I appreciate that compliment. You're awesome. It may be that I'm a teacher. It may be that I'm very comfortable being on camera and speaking and stuff, but whenever I say something, it just comes off. I just try to let it roll off the tongue. So I keep the commentary hot and fresh, right? Cool. So look at that. I've played 132 times. I've won every single time. And in fact, this one that my coworker at lunch today was like, oh no, I lost my streak. I got it wrong. I got it on the 4th because of the strategy I use. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so the first thing, I guess, moist, which, a lot of people don't like the word moist. A lot of people are like, ooh, that's their ick word, right? Don't say the word moist around me. I don't want to hear that. There's plenty of those words, right? My word is module. Ugh, I hate that word, module. But some people just despise the word moist. It's an oogie feeling word. I don't know. So that gave me the M, which is cool. I tried then a second word that's non-intersecting. I mean, it doesn't use any of those first 5 letters. So I tried plead. There's an L and there's an A. And then, let's see. And then I tried a third non-intersecting word. Sometimes you have to double a letter if you go on the third, but we got lucky today, and it was rung with a W. But, how lucky are you if you get none of them? Actually, still kind of lucky if you think about it, because there are only 26 letters in the alphabet. In English, at least. I know in some dialects there are more or less sometimes. In Portuguese, there are less letters. Natively. I mean, they use the W as borrowed words. But typically they don't use the W or the K. I guess the Y too. Those are all just borrowed letters. But in English, of course, you're going to use the 26 standard letters. And by doing these 3 non-intersecting words, either you have them or you don't, right? You don't have an ick word. Oh, that's good. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky. Balmy. I bet my coworker is going to think balmy is an ick word from now on because she got the Wordle wrong today. Okay, let's dive in and do Strands. And if you've never done Strands before, think of it like a word search, right? Where you're given different words and you have to find them in the jumbled letters. Except we don't have the answer key. We don't even have a really good grasp of what the theme is. Well, fancy that. What could that mean? Is that about fancy things? Is that about, being surprised about something? I don't know. There's lots of extravagant letters. Oh, no way. No way, no way, no way. Okay, so the thing about this too, it doesn't just go up and down, left and right. The words can snake around in any direction. And I think I found one, because I'm talking about things that are fancy, right? So look at this. Snazzy. Yes! I knew it. I even said another one, and I wonder if... Oh, here it is. Look. Extravagant. Extravagant. Okay. Well, fancy that. What other fancy words do we see? Maybe shiny? Okay, so if shiny is not there, I wonder if shiny is the spangram. So one of the guesses goes all the way from either left to right, top to bottom, right to left. Huh. How about gaudy? Gaudy, that's a word. Ooh, shiny. That's the spangram. Ooh, shiny. Oh, funny. And it's straight down. You know, that one will snake around too, but that's so funny. Today's ooh, shiny. That's funny. How about lavish? I'm reading The Hunger Games with my kids right now, and I have found that we're in the chapter of the second book where they're on their tour around all the capital districts and stuff, and they stop at the Capitol. They have this huge party. This is what we just read last night. They have this huge party at the Capitol, and everything is very lavish and extravagant and fancy. So, oh, that's funny. I wonder... Let's see, 5 of 7. So there are 2 left. I feel like A and T go together, like, but that's the end. It would have to... Oh, I see one. How about this? Ornate. Deluxe. There it is. Oh, funny. Very cool, very cool. All right. Well, awesome. Yeah, and we did it in good time, too. This one did not take long to figure out. Well, fancy that. Ooh, shiny. That's such a funny spangram. Ooh, shiny. Lavish. Yeah, isn't that funny? Like, you don't understand the beginning, and then once you sort of start to kind of uncover the theme, it starts to make sense. It starts to make more sense. Like lavish. Oh, fancy, lavish. Okay, so what else? Oh, maybe deluxe. And you find other words because of those other words. They start to sort of reveal themselves. Yeah. Ooh, shiny. Lavish, deluxe, ornate, snazzy, extravagant, and gaudy. Gaudy is like fancy but over the top. It's like too much. Too much fancy. All right. And then we will play our old pal, the Letterboxd. And if you've never played Letterboxd before, let me get it to there again. We are trying to use all 12 of these letters in hopefully 5 words or less. And you can't use letters on the same side. So like ago, I couldn't spell the word ago because it's A-G-O on the same side. They have to like bounce across, right? They have to go across from one to the other. There's an X in this puzzle, and what on earth am I going to use that for? I can't do like extinct, right? Because EX is on the same side. There's no U. I was going to say maximum. There's no Z. I could say maximize. I guess I'll just say maxim. That's a word. We didn't really familiarize ourselves with the puzzle. We just dove in, didn't we? So there's A, G, O on one side, but they can't go together. Y, M, and R. E, X, and S. Oh, Bodhi was getting excited about those letters being together in the other puzzle. T, I, and N. Okay, and we're on an M. I could erase this. I like writing down the words that I come up with in case I need them later if I erase them. Let's see how far we can get it with this one. Monotony. That's a great word, monotony. It's like the boringness of a day-to-day existence, monotony. Okay. And then we ended on, oh boy, we ended on a Y, which is a little tricky. How about yearns? I can't do ing. It would be nice if I could do ing, because that would knock out the whole puzzle. But, because I and N are on the same side. Yearns. All right, then we just need the O. So that could, or the G, I mean. How about just sign? Sign, that's fine. Okie doke. Look at that. When we did it in 4. We had to do it in 5 today. We did it in 4. So we're 1 under par today. Not bad. Hey, while we're here, we should check what yesterday's puzzle was. Phonies and subject. That's not how I approached it. What did I end up doing? Shoots and spin something? Not even close to what they came up with. They have a bot, a letterbox bot, play the game and see if they can come up with the most efficient way to say these words. And that's not how I did it. I don't remember. I closed the puzzle, so who knows what it was. But today's puzzle, we had quite a few. I almost saw the word like monogamy, but it couldn't happen because the G and the O were on the same side. So we started with the word maxim, and then the M led us to monotony, right? The boringness of the day-to-day. And then that led us to, the Y led us to yearns, and then the S led us to sign. Yeah, cool. We're going to recap things. If you like what you see today, give it a like, consider subscribing. I do this once a day. We do a daily live stream of this. We just play the New York Times puzzles. It's a blast. It's super, super fun. And so, with that, let's see what we got. So commit to paper. That's to author, to compose, to pen, and to write. This is the connections puzzle, I should have said. Heroes of an action movie franchise. James Bond. Indiana Jones. I had to think there for a minute. I forgot. Ocean. That's Danny Ocean from Ocean's 11. And then John Wick from the latest Keanu Reeves shoot 'em up franchise. Needs for playing Yahtzee. I thought it was needs for playing golf. You need a cup, right? You hit into the cup in the hole in the ground. You don't need dice, though. I thought it was yard, right? You mentioned how many yards a hole is, I suppose. But no, it's about Yahtzee. You need a cup, you need dice, you need a pencil, and a scorecard. And then the purple category, I was like, wait, how do these go together? I see yardstick and candlestick, but joystick? And I was like, oh, duh, like you play games with a joystick. And then chopstick, I'm like, huh, chopstick? I'm like, duh, chopstick, right? Lots of different countries around the world use quaitsu, right? Chopstick. Chopstick. Okay. I love this puzzle. This is so funny. What a great clue. Adjective that rhymes with sheesh or pitch, depending on who you ask. Some people will pronounce this word niche, like me, like a normal person. Some people will say niche. Your niche in the market. That seems very off to me. I don't use that word niche. I say niche. Niche sounds much more sophisticated. The colossal squid, which just recently a marine mammal filmed in its natural habitat for the first time. We find them dead, washed up on the shore, but here the first time they've caught video of the colossal squid on camera, which is really cool. Under, miles under the or under the ocean depths, right? Just ridiculous amounts of space under, feet and yards and fathoms. I don't even know how they measure it. Fathoms below the surface of the water. And they've seen the colossal squid. Like some caterpillars, furry. That's in a school setting, that's kind of a naughty word nowadays, furry. Some spouses, right? There's husbands and there are wives. Bill's time-traveling partner of film, Bill and Ted. That's actually the second reference to Keanu Reeves. Is it his birthday or something? Why would we mention him twice? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and John Wick. Let's see. It's funny how in Russia, joystick is the basic word for what a lot of people now call a gamepad. That's why it came to me so easily. Oh, that's cool. I wonder why that would be. Because joystick, when I think of joystick, it's like a flight simulator, but it could also be maybe the Atari. The Atari was, for a lot of people, the first gaming console, and perhaps the first gaming console to come into your country. And so that carried over, and they were like, oh, joystick, because that's what it was. And then it carried over even when there was like directional pads, like a Switch or a PlayStation or something. That's interesting. Letters meaning don't click this in public. NSFW. Don't click that. People are going to look over your shoulder and wonder about you. So be careful what you Google. You can take this job and shove it. I quit. A few years ago, every year we have a retirement party for all the teachers that are ending their career that year. And one year I was like DJing, I guess, as they wanted me to play just entertaining music and stuff. And this one lady was like, hey, will you play this song? And I played the song not knowing what it was, and it was Take This Job and Shove It. If you've never heard that song before, she goes, I ain't working here no more. Right? And it was actually sort of thumbing her nose at the rest of us. She was like, I'm so sick of this. I'm glad I'm retiring. I'm out of here. Feature of a winding road. Curve. Added to the payroll. Hired. You got the job. And then Dreyer's ice cream on the East Coast is known as Edie's ice cream. Sort of a fancier brand. I know that one. All right, I also know the Wordle. Look at that. I used my strategy and it paid off. I had a coworker that was doing the Wordle, and I'm very careful. They know, they kind of laugh at me for it, but I'm very particular. If they're doing the connections puzzle or they're doing the Wordle or something, they know, don't say a word about it to me because I don't want to spoil the answer. I'm doing my live stream in a few hours. Don't ruin it for me. And the only thing that one of my coworkers said today, she didn't say a single letter or anything. She just said, I lost my streak on the Wordle, right? She had a streak of quite a few days and lost it today. I got it on the 4th. Pretty cool. So my strategy is to come up with 3 separate words that don't use any of the same letters. I call them non-intersecting words. And I don't know if other people use this strategy, but hey, it works for me, so I use it. I don't have like a go-to word all the time. I just come up with 3 words. There's hundreds of combinations that work in this way that are all 15 letters that don't use the same letters that overlap each other. So I started with moist, and that gave me the M. And then the second non-intersecting word was plead, and that gave me the L and the A. And then I tried for one more non-intersecting word, which was rung, and that was no help at all. But really it is help because, there's only 26 letters, so process of elimination, there's, only 11 left. So I'm looking at what's left, and I'm going to make words. What am I going to do? I could do bulk, or I don't know what else it could be, right? CH something. But for the organization of those letters, it made sense to guess balmy, and we made it. The first foreign console in Russia was the Famicom. Yeah, I think that was the first in a lot of countries. We actually did and still call it Dandy. You call it Dandy? That's kind of fun. Oh, that's cool. The Dandy Famicom. I'll remember that. I'm going to remember that. That's really cute. I like that. All right. Today's Strands was all about fancy things. Well, fancy that. Extravagant, lavish, deluxe. This is so fitting because just last night I was reading with my kids. We love reading together, and I read book 2 of The Hunger Games. We're in, I don't know, the 3rd chapter or something, 4th chapter, whatever it is. We just barely finished the first book, reading it all over again, and now we're into the 2nd book. And we were just barely reading about how they're having a party at the Capitol and all the districts, they live in squalor, they live in just poverty. And then in the Capitol, they live just a very lavish lifestyle. So much so that they make food, so much food that they will eat as much as they can and throw it all up and eat all over again. It's like, that's so gross. And here people in the districts are starving, this inequality between the districts and the capital. So everything in the capital is very lavish. It's extravagant. It's gaudy. Gaudy is like over the top lavish. It's too deluxe, too fancy. Ornate and snazzy. Somebody who's wearing a very fancy suit, you might call them snazzy. That's great. And then we polished it off today with the letterbox. If you enjoyed today, give it a like and subscribe. Consider subscribing. I'm not going to force you to subscribe, but if you like what I do this every day, and I will, I'll just do the puzzle and have some fun with the chat, right? We're having a great chat today. The letterbox, right? I'm trying to span across to connect all these letters. I started with Maxim, and just to get rid of the X. I was thinking of something to get rid of the X there. And the M led us to monotony, and then the Y led us to yearns, and the S to sign, and then that used up all 12 letters. Really cool. Okay, like I just said, if you like what you see, give it a like, and consider subscribing. We do this every day just for kicks, just for fun, as soon as I get home from work. And I know it's probably midnight where you are, or whatever time all over the globe, but I hope you get to enjoy the rest of your day. Tomorrow's Friday. Take a deep breath. Tomorrow's Friday. It's going to be all right. I've got a meeting, a very important meeting at the end, at the very beginning of the day tomorrow, and then it's just it's downhill from there because as you saw, winding down to the end of school, we're going to have graduation practice. All of the seniors get this clearance card, and all of their teachers have to sign to say yes, he's passing my class. And if they're not, that's not good. Not good. Yeah, so lots of things, right? We've already had like the promenade dance, the prom. We've already had, we haven't given out yearbooks yet. Yearbook signing party, that's always fun. But yeah, it's crazy that we're just winding down to the end of this year. So, hey, thanks for a great stream. Thanks for, a fun time in the chat. I appreciate you guys. And if you like what you saw, consider subscribing, and I will catch you on the next one. Enjoy your night, and see you hopefully again tomorrow, Friday.